Gemini, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As I mentioned before, I'm in the process of moving from Illinois to Texas, and I am here in Texas, but my furniture is not. So we are sitting on the floor, getting your reading done nonetheless. I appreciate those of you who show up week after week, and I want to make sure that I show up for you. Interesting. So Gemini, it looks like you're hoping to take the lead in something, but you're not really looking for anybody else's input anymore. Okay. This Three of Pentacles in the inverse is about appraisal, and it can also be about teamwork. You feel like you've heard enough of other people's opinions, and you just want to push forward on your own accord. You're like, enough is enough. I've listened to what everybody has to say, but this is what I need to do. I'm going to be my own knight in shining armor here. I'm going to be the one who moves everything forward. However, there are way too many choices at your disposal. There's a lot going on here, and you kind of feel a little overwhelmed by the choices and directions that you might be able to take. You're seeing a lot of possibilities that don't make sense, but you're seeing a lot of possibilities that do, and it's the unknown that is making you pause. Also, you have the devil in the inverse here, which tells me that you're afraid of the bad habits of getting involved in something and putting a bunch of time and energy into it. And then after you put in all this time and energy into it, well, all of a sudden it just doesn't serve a purpose anymore. So you're being conscientious of breaking that habit, but ultimately you fear not being able to make a choice at all. You fear stagnation due to indecision. So again, you're like, hope, my way or the highway. I'm going to do this for me. This is my choice. This is what I want to do. Not concerned with anybody else's opinions. But then you have choices to make, and you're like, well, hell, I don't know what to do, so now I'm just stuck. It's interesting. So I don't always point out the astrological significance of a card unless it's really meaningful in the reading, and usually it's pretty meaningful when your card shows up in your reading. So the Lover's card is the card of Gemini. Okay, so the reality of the situation is you have choices, because the Lover's card is ultimately about choice. It's about one of those choices that just feels good whether we've thought it through or not. It's that gut feeling. All right. The Lover's card can also represent dealing with your shadow side, facing it head on, recognizing that you're of two minds and that you have some things that need to work out. The reality of the situation is your own dual nature, your own battle between your gut feeling and what your head tells you is emotionally draining. And you are, again, that leads to that stuck feeling. You don't have the time, you don't have the energy, there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, there's a lot of research that has to be had. You want to do things your way, you're not concerned with other people's opinions. You're going back and forth with yourself, and you're tired. You're tired, Gemini. Hooey. So, here we are. You're looking to manage your resources differently than you have in the past. Yeah, so the King of Pentacles manages resources. He's the type of person who builds himself up, but he also helps other people build themselves up in regards to resources. Resources can be health, it can be wealth, it can be time management, or how you leverage your network. Then you have the Empress in the inverse and the Emperor in the upright. So the Empress is the Queen of Queens. She creates an environment. The Emperor manages an environment, and the same goes for all kings and queens in the deck. But now you're going a level up here. You're above the kings and queens. You're looking at somebody who manages not a kingdom, but actually creates or actually maintains an environment in which several kingdoms interact. However, the Empress, who is all about creation, she is the person who takes an idea and brings it into fruition. She is in the inverse. So what this tells me is You're seeking control of a situation that you don't feel like you can create for yourself right now. You have a lot of pieces of the puzzle to put together and a lot of things that you have to look at. But you are coming out of a period of chaos. And chaos comes into our lives to show us the things that we do not want. So you may not know where you're going and you may not know what you want, but you have a long list of things that you do not want. So at least you're narrowing down your choices. Gemini, you have a journey ahead of you, a very difficult one. I hope you found the message that serves your highest good. I realize that I might be leaving you with more questions than answers, but I feel that's what's necessary today in this reading. And I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.